Imagine a world where technology or advanced medicine gives us the ability to choose the exact day we die. This thought-provoking scenario raises deep questions about life, death, and the relationships we have with those we love. It brings forward an ethical dilemma. Would this power liberate us or strip life of its meaning? How would knowing our mortality date impact the way we live, love, and leave a legacy? In this video, we'll explore the profound implications of being able to choose our death day. The ability to choose when we die would change the nature of mortality itself. For some, this might bring comfort. Imagine no longer fearing the unpredictability of death, no more worrying about being struck down unexpectedly or losing loved ones before their time. Instead, we could plan milestones like weddings, birthdays, or the completion of significant goals with the knowledge that we have time to experience them. However, this newfound control could carry dark consequences. The freedom to choose death might push some toward an early exit, especially those grappling with mental health struggles, burnout, or existential crises. Such a profound decision could raise difficult ethical questions. How do we ensure that someone's decision to end their life isn't influenced by temporary emotional turmoil or external pressures? The ability to choose the exact moment of death would remove its unpredictability, turning it into a planned event rather than a natural part of life's cycle. The impermanence of life is one of the driving forces behind its meaning. It's the awareness that death could arrive at any moment that fuels us to live fully, cherish relationships, and pursue passions. But what happens if we could pick the day we die? Would life lose its urgency and drive if we knew when the end would come? The constant need to make every moment count could be diminished, leading to a shift in how we experience each day. Alternatively, knowing when death is approaching might prompt us to live more intentionally, helping us prioritize what truly matters without the fear of time running out. This shift in perspective would fundamentally change how we view our relationship with time itself, no longer in terms of an uncertain countdown, but as a series of moments we can choose to fill with meaning. Love and relationships are built on the shared uncertainty of life. Death's unpredictable nature forces us to value our connections and cherish the time we have with those we love. But with the ability to control when we die, this dynamic could change drastically. In some ways, it could deepen relationships, as people would no longer live with the fear of losing loved ones too soon. Partners could align their lives, knowing they would pass away at the same time, and parents could prepare for their children's futures with more certainty. However, such control could also cause emotional and psychological strain. Knowing exactly when someone will die could alter the natural flow of life, causing anxiety or even creating an unnatural approach to love. The knowledge of a fixed death day might encourage individuals to prioritize their own personal timeline over the natural ebb and flow of relationships. On a broader scale, the ethics of choosing when we die are deeply complex. While the idea may seem liberating, it raises serious moral concerns. Could we trust that someone's decision to end their life is based on sound mental health? What if an individual was under pressure, whether from external sources or internal turmoil, to make such a permanent choice? This question would prompt the world to rethink the ethics of assisted suicide and how society would regulate such a decision. Who decides if it's appropriate for someone to schedule their death? How can we ensure that people are mentally fit to make such a weighty decision? And how do we protect the vulnerable? The regulation of this technology would be a monumental task, ensuring that the power to choose death is not misused or rushed into, potentially by people in a fragile emotional state. Knowing when we will die would also profoundly impact how we think about legacy. Most people, when facing death, consider the mark they will leave on the world through their family, their community, or their work. If we could choose our death day, it could make us more intentional about this legacy. Some might rush to finished projects, knowing exactly when they'll be gone, while others might slow down, choosing to focus on what truly matters to them rather than striving for societal approval. With this power, there could be a deeper reflection on life's true meaning. This control might encourage people to engage in acts of kindness, philanthropy, or creativity, all with the goal of leaving a lasting impact on the world before they depart. The legacy would no longer be something left to chance. It would be a deliberate and carefully crafted part of life's final chapter. The psychological effects of knowing your death day would vary greatly from person to person. For some, this certainty could bring peace, offering them time to prepare mentally and emotionally for the end. For others, however, knowing the exact date might fuel anxiety, existential dread, or an overwhelming sense of futility. The burden of knowing when death is coming could make people overly focused on the future, at the cost of missing out on the present moment. It might even change how people approach their health. Some could embrace reckless behavior knowing their time is fixed, while others may prioritize avoiding death at any cost, potentially losing out on the joy of spontaneous living. The loss of surprise in life's journey could leave individuals struggling with the pressure to make every moment perfect, yet missing the simple pleasures of living. Technology would play a key role in this scenario, facilitating the ability for people to choose their death day. If such advances were possible, it would likely involve the development of complex medical and technological systems. These systems would need to ensure that people were making informed, voluntary decisions with full mental clarity. It would also require regulations to prevent misuse, particularly by people in vulnerable emotional states. However, the development of this technology could lead to other moral and societal issues. With the possibility of extending life indefinitely, people might no longer need to choose a specific day to die, but could instead live forever, leading to a paradox where the fear of death is no longer a concern, but life itself might lose its sense of purpose. The ability to choose when to die would also create an intense pressure to make the most of the time leading up to the final day. People might feel compelled to complete their bucket lists, travel, or achieve certain milestones. While this could inspire a more meaningful and fulfilling existence, it might also lead to burnout. The pressure to live life perfectly, constantly achieving, striving, and planning, could overshadow the natural joy of daily existence. Some might become fixated on meeting external expectations, seeking validation through accomplishments, rather than finding fulfillment in the quiet moments that define a truly happy life. Society's view of death would undoubtedly change in a world where we could choose our death day. Death, once a mystery, would lose its awe-inspiring sacred quality and become more of a calculated event. People may view it as a natural conclusion to a life well lived, no longer something to fear, but an event to plan for. Spiritual and religious perspectives on death might face challenges, as the mystery and unknown aspects of dying are replaced with certainty and control. It would raise difficult questions about whether interfering with death's natural process is ethical. People would begin to ask what constitutes a good death, not one shaped by chance, but one chosen by the individual, raising new philosophical debates about the meaning of life and death. Choosing when we die would also strip much of the mystery surrounding death. While some might find peace in the certainty of the date, others might feel that it removes an essential part of what makes life so special: its unpredictability. Life would lose some of its urgency, as people would no longer live with the knowledge that death could come at any time. The focus would shift from living to preparing for death, and society's collective energy could be consumed by planning for the end, rather than embracing the journey of life itself. In conclusion, the power to choose the day we die offers both profound possibilities and deep moral dilemmas. While it could offer peace, autonomy, and a more controlled approach to our mortality, it would fundamentally alter our relationship with life, death, and everything in between. It would redefine the way we live, love, and leave a legacy, ushering in a world where our time on Earth is no longer determined by fate, but by personal choice. Would we lose the meaning of life by embracing the certainty of death, or would we find a new way to live more intentionally? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking discussions.